Hey guys, I'm here to update you on my second trimester of pregnancy. I did take some notes on how it went, and I'm officially in my third trimester now, but let me recap how my second trimester went. So for my 14th week, my nausea largely went away. And that was perfect timing because I had a cruise to go to Mexico, and I had never been on a cruise before, so I wasn't sure if my motion sickness was going to be present, and coupled with pregnancy nausea, I wasn't sure how I would do. But the baby must have really wanted to go on this cruise because week 14 hit and it largely went away. I did get a little bit sick on the cruise, but it really wasn't bad at all. Right before I went on the cruise, I took a nuchal translucency ultrasound, so that checks for some fluid behind the baby's head or behind the baby's neck. And it's like an indicator for some disease, and he did well. Nothing was indicated. I did learn that I had suspected marginal cord insertion, so my placenta, where the umbilical cord attaches, is a little bit different too. It's not so centrally located, off to the side, I think. So I got a little bit nervous getting on Google and reading about that, but I tried not to worry because one, they couldn't even confirm it, and two, the doctor wasn't worried. Week 15 to 16, I started feeling a lot of pressure on my bladder, and to the point where I thought I had a UTI, but I've never had a UTI, so I wasn't really sure what that was supposed to feel like either. So I did go to the urgent care and just ruled that out and learned that it is very much just pregnancy symptoms. I was peeing a lot. I started getting up a lot more often in the middle of the night, having to go to the bathroom, and I started having some pain in my lower right abdomen. So while I thought it could be a UTI, it wasn't, and it's just roundment pain, plus my bladder probably wasn't used to getting so much pressure there. So it all turned out okay. I also started walking an hour per day on my treadmill, and I also started doing pelvic floor exercises. So week 15 is mostly when I started, right when I got back from the cruise. Week 17, I started my baby shopping list. I made a baby registry even though I'm not having a baby shower, because I just wanted a shopping list for myself mostly, and shopping for baby items really makes it feel so much more real. It really made me feel like more connected to the baby, and before that I was having a little bit of trouble feeling like it was all real. But after I put together that list, it just felt more real. I don't know how else to put it. Week 18, I took a work trip to Nashville. So that was a pretty short flight to Nashville. And it was the baby's first time hearing live country music, and my husband loved it. And I think the baby liked it too. Week 20 is when I had my anatomy scan. So for anyone who has been pregnant before, week 20 is one of the most exciting weeks of your pregnancy, because the anatomy scan is when you get to spend an hour or so looking at your baby in detail, see how they're growing. It's halfway through your pregnancy, and it was just so nice to see her on the ultrasound. She was a little bit shy. She had one of her hands in front of her face, but we did get some really nice imaging, and that was so fun. My baby was measuring pretty average in all areas. Well, she does have a short femur, which means the bone from your knee to your pelvis. So she could be a short baby. taking after her mom, but we'll see. Week 20 was so exciting, but at the same time, it was the hardest week because I found out that I was getting laid off. So that was really hard news. It was totally unexpected. It definitely blindsided me, and I was crying constantly. The tears would not stop flowing. It was not a fun time. I was crying a lot. I started getting panic attacks and feeling claustrophobia. So I felt very claustrophobic and almost like I was the one that was trapped inside my belly. And I started feeling guilty that my baby could feel these negative feelings that I was feeling. I would never want her to feel trapped in my belly. And I don't know, it was just a really hard time from week 20 onwards for a few weeks. But I'm here, I got through it. Week 21, I felt my baby move for the first time, definitively. I did have moments when I thought I might have felt the baby, but I still don't know. Week 21 was when I was like, for sure that was the baby. So that was super exciting. I did find out at my anatomy scan that the baby was breech. So I was feeling most of her movements very low. So I think she was breech for a while. She's not breech anymore, but week 22, I had a random twinge of nausea come back. And I did throw up one of the days, but it was a one-off. I don't even remember it. I only remember it because it was in my journal. Baby definitely was getting stronger and I was feeling her move a lot more. Week 23, I started to feel very full all the time. My belly felt really big. I was having trouble adjusting to my growing belly, especially coupled with my claustrophobia and panic attacks and anxiety that I was experiencing. It was really, really hard. My belly was the trigger for my panic attacks. And I remember getting a panic attack in the shower one day because I couldn't shave. I couldn't see past my belly, and that gave me so much anxiety all at once. And my husband just held my hand and got me through it, but I was still having a lot of trouble dealing with emotions. I think I started interviewing for jobs again, and that was still a pretty hard time. Week 24, I took my glucose test and failed. So my doctor told me that I don't need to fast before my glucose test. I think some doctors tell you to fast before it. And my phlebotomist who took my blood, she said that she fasted before hers and that's what she recommends too. So if I ever get pregnant again, I think I will fast. Just not fast, but maybe not eat so much. Before I went, I didn't have an abnormal amount of food, but I just had a normal, I think I had 2 eggs. And I don't know, I went in feeling so full. So I would not recommend going into your glucose test feeling full. Maybe next time I would eat a couple crackers. I don't know. I know you shouldn't try to pass the test by fasting, but I just don't like that it's inconsistent. Some doctors tell you to fast while others don't. So week 24, I did a very light and modified exercise on my aerial rig outside. And that same day, I exercised a little too much, I think. And for the next 3 to 5 days, I really suffered with ground ligament pain. So I could barely walk. It was hurting me whether I was sitting, laying down, walking. But so I stopped aerial that week because I did not want to experience that again. Week 26, we went on a quick baby moon to Cabo. It was something that I really didn't know I needed, but it was wonderful. I had a really good time. It was my husband and last trip together, which was special. And we used all of our credit card points for it, so we didn't have to pay anything. And Cabo is only an hour flight, an hour or two, I forgot which it is, from us. So it was a really easy trip, and I just had this really nice feeling that we had someone watching over us. Everything went super well, and it was really healing for me, and especially for my anxiety and panic attacks. It was really nice to just be outside the whole day and be in a new surrounding, and it was just really enjoyable. We made a lot of special memories just talking. We weren't even doing much, but just talking in the pool and spending quality time together. We like purposely put both of our phones away for most of the day and just enjoyed each other's company, and it just made all the difference. It's a trip I'll never forget. Week 27, my last week of second trimester, I felt my baby get the hiccups for the first time, and I can't say I love the feeling, but it was really cool the first time. But she gets hiccups quite often. It's when you get hiccups, it's not the it's annoying, and I can feel my baby get hiccups, and I just want him to go away for her. So okay, I had to try the chicken Big Mac because I love Big Macs, but it's honestly been years since I've ever even had one, so I'm stoked. Ta-da! It has Big Mac sauce, but I saw someone on TikTok using sweet and sour sauce, so I might try that for a few bites. All right, first bite. That's really good too. And honestly, I like it both with and without the sauce. They got the chicken Big Mac on the Vegas Sphere, and that's crazy. Okay, that was so good. Yum. Now, time for my mini McFlurry. I didn't know they did minis. I mean, they didn't used to. They put so much Oreo in here. Oops. It's a little melty because I didn't put it in the fridge while I ate. I'm gonna go eat this on the couch. And I also took my 3-hour glucose test, and luckily I passed. So that was kind of brutal. You go in and you take a blood test, you drink the fluids, wait 1 hour, take a blood test. So you get pricked 4 times total. And I thought I was gonna be able to take it all in one arm, but the second one hurt me. So then I switched the next 2 to my other arm, and it was fine. But it was not fun waiting 4 hours. You have to fast before you go, and then add, was it 3 or, it's 3 hours, sorry, not 4. You have to fast for 8 hours before the test, and then you're obviously fasting throughout the test, so you don't eat anything for 11 hours. And as a pregnant woman, that is not fun. I was very hungry by the end, but I got through it. And around week 27, I think, around this time, I found out that I got a job offer. I didn't disclose my pregnancy until I got the verbal offer, but I didn't want to be in a situation where I trap anyone or anything. I wanted it to be mutual, so I did disclose my pregnancy after the verbal offer, and they basically said that they need someone to start right away. They're too busy, and they're a very small company, so they couldn't hire someone just for them to go away, which I totally understand. But going through that whole experience and getting a job offer, it actually freed me a lot from my mental panic attack, claustrophobic state. I have to say that after I got that job offer, it felt really freeing, and I realized that this is a time for me to really enjoy the last few weeks of my freedom and the time alone with my husband. And I do believe strongly that everything happens for a reason. So I let go of the feeling of guilt, feeling for the need of control, gave myself permission to live in the present and just enjoy this time fully. And I'm happy to say that coupled with a daily walk outside for a mile, I'm healed. I haven't had a panic attack since week 20, whatever. My third trimester so far, I haven't had a panic attack. I haven't felt claustrophobic. It's been really nice. So, oh, I can feel the baby kicking. I'm thankful to have gone through that experience with my baby. Looking back on it, it was really hard and I wouldn't wish it upon anyone. But I learned a lot from the experience. I've got a lot stronger. I feel like I've gotten a better handle on like how to cope with anxiety, and I'm all better now. I feel like I'm in a good mental state, so I'm happy. But I will do, well, I don't know when I would do the third trimester update, because I would imagine that my baby will be with me when I do a third trimester recap, but we will see. But until then, take care everyone, and thanks for watching.